Welcome to my friends on LinkedIn and YouTube. I am now just going to go live in Facebook. Facebook has made it more difficult for those of you who don't know to stream into multiple sources. So I think we're good now. I have to go live first in LinkedIn and YouTube, and then I have to move on over to Facebook. I'm sure I'll figure out a more seamless way to do it at some point, but here we are. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm just going to do a quick tech check. For those of you who are joining me already, if you could give me a thumbs up just to make sure that you can see and hear me, I'll do my own tech check here, and it looks like we're good. Welcome to another Q&A office hour and strategy call. I am really excited about what I'm going to be presenting to you today. As with everything that we do, the adoption of this new assessment tool called VioScreen, and we'll get into that, was really driven by the need of our community of practitioners. And everything that we do, from the tools that we integrate to the content that we create, is very formative. And our members and our practitioners had let us know in various ways that the assessment process is a little clunky. And just in general, for nutrition and healthcare practitioners, the nutrition assessment process is clunky, but we have a solution. And what really excites me about what we're going to present today is that we have a clinical tool that can be leveraged as a very powerful marketing tool for you as well. Hi, Celine, welcome. And so today we are going to cover the VioScreen integration, which we did talk about 2 weeks ago, but we're going to lean a little bit more into the marketing campaign that we call What's Your Score, because we think that it's super high value and it's really going to help you through every stage of your funnel. All right, so let's get started. I am Jeannie Petrucci. For those of you who don't know me, I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist, culinary coach, and my company is Living Plate RX. I am the founder. We are a digital health software company. We provide healthcare professionals, institutions, and startups as well commercialized digital health companies with all of the nutrition content and nutrition resources that they need. So everything from content like courses and handouts and ebooks to digital meal planning solutions. So really have it all covered. Nicole and Beta, welcome. On the call with me today is Hillary, who supports us in the Facebook group. Hi, Hillary. Thank you so much for tagging everyone. Hillary, could you also just drop here, and I am going to ask you throughout the event today, if you could please drop in the demo call link. If any of you want to have just a more detailed walkthrough of what I'm going to show you today with me, you can join a group demo call. We're going to drop the link here in the feed so that you can join us. So we have them scheduled every week, and we are permitting up to 20 people to join each demo call. So really engaging. It's live. It's going to be in Zoom. So we're really looking forward to that. For those of you who are members, you already have access to a lot of information. So you don't need to sign up for the demo call. The demo call is really intended for people who are not yet members of our community and need extra support, just kind of seeing what we can offer. Hi, Sandra. Welcome. Hi, Kaylee. I know everybody's really excited today, and I am too. Look, I was working until 12 midnight last night, probably a little bit later, really just kind of getting all the bits and pieces together for you today, because as we have already deployed this tool. So if you're a member of Living Plate RX, what I'm going to show you today is in your dashboard. So it has been live for about 3 weeks, I think. And when we went live, we had a lot of questions around how can I issue it? How can I use it with current clients? How can I use it to attract new clients? And for the past 3 weeks, we've been working on this campaign. And last night there were, a few other requests from members that just made a lot of sense. And so I've added them into this space in the library, which I'm going to show you today. Hey, Tanika and Sarah, welcome. All right, let's go ahead. I'm just going to dive right in. I think that we're probably going to end up taking the full hour today, but we'll see. If you have any questions as we walk through VioScreen and this campaign, What's Your Score, please pop them into the Facebook group. If you're joining me on YouTube and LinkedIn, unfortunately, I can't see your comments, but I will go back and answer them for you after the broadcast on the recording. Okay. All right. So let's add this to the stage. We are going to use the space inside of Living Plate RX as a guide for our conversation today. For those of you who are not members, this is our dashboard. So as a member of Living Plate RX, this, when you log in, this is where you land. It's where all of your resources are. And then there is a link, of course, here to go to your meal planner, which we'll go to shortly. You have access to continuing education, just quickly up here in the Learn section, continuing education from our partner, today's dietitian, BioCare, which we're going to be diving into today, and then some other trainings and tutorials here. Our Tuesday tutorials are on fire. Thank you so much for those of you who have been requesting topics. Just keep them coming, because anything that you want to know how to do, I love learning new things, and I am tech curious. So I'll figure it out so you don't have to, and I'll post it as a Tuesday tutorial. And then we also have, of course, our resource library, which gives you all the resources that you need, like recipe packs, social media calendars, emails, handouts, courses, courses, and blogs, newsletters, cooking videos, just lots and lots of stuff. Everything that you need for your practice. Everything I wish I had 8 years ago. All right, let's go back to our Learn category, because that is where BioCare is going to be. So let's go ahead and open that up. And we're going to be using this space in our library as a guide for our conversation today. We are going to be talking about VioScreen, which is a visual dietary assessment tool. So it is similar to an FFQ, so a food frequency questionnaire, that is typically used in research, and VioScreen is used in research. But the food frequency questionnaires tend to be like pen to paper or even digital, but not visual. And that is the differentiator between VioScreen and other assessment tools. It's really fun to complete. Patients love it. And it is a validated tool. So we are delivering to you a super high value tool. It was created by the team at VioCare. So up here to the left here, you'll see that there's a section, Who is VioCare? So they've been at the forefront of nutrition technology since 1993. The founders are amazing, really great to work with. They have been mostly focused in research. They have secured over $12 million in research funding from the NIH. And a lot of that has contributed to this development of this tool, VioScreen, which is really the leading dietary assessment platform used by clinicians and then also in a research setting. This is really the first time that registered dietitians and nutrition professionals in the United States are getting access to it within meal planning and content platform. So we're really excited to be the first here. If you look down here, you'll see the module content. You can just click on What is VioScreen? There is a tutorial that I did with the Chief Scientific Officer and founder, Rick Weiss. So you can watch that at your leisure. I strongly recommend that you do that, just so that you can get background on the tool and feel really confident using it. And then here, there's a section on how it works, and we're providing you with all of the science. I am not going to read through all of this. You can do that at your leisure, but we wanted you to have a really clear understanding of how we get from the pictures of food and this dietary assessment to the key metric that we're looking at here, which is the summary of key metrics, which shows up as a healthy eating index score, so the HEI. And as you'll see in the materials that I'm going to show you, the healthy eating index score is super appealing because it assigns a number, it assigns data to somebody's dietary pattern, which is notoriously difficult to nail down. This does not, and at the bottom here, this is very important for you to understand. The HEI score does not replace a dietary recall. You should still do a dietary recall or food record. Maybe it's a 3-day food record or a 1-week food record before somebody comes in to visit you, because that gives you the complete picture. What the HEI score does is it gives you a look back, a longer term look back to dietary patterns. And that's really important. So looking at groups of food, the healthy eating index score is from 0 to 100, with 100 being, the best and 0 not so much. So it goes from red to green, and a 5-point improvement in a healthy eating index score is statistically significant. So if somebody comes to you and they complete this assessment, and let's say they get a 60 or a 65, and you can get them to a 70, awesome. Now 80 gets them kind of in that good range, but any improvement is good. So it's really, really cool to measure. Hi, Leslie, Sol, Stephanie, Amy, lots of great people joining us today. Sandra is asking, I missed how you get to this main page. Oh, Sandra, that's a great question. Let's just go back real quick to the platform tutorials. Just go back to the library. It's on your main library page, Sandra. Just click on the Learn tab and go to VioCare, and that brings you right to where we are right here. So read through how it works, how they collect the data based on the visual cues given to your patients. They are asked questions about foods, and it gets down to types. So fruit, what kind of fruit, berries, what kind of berries, and then portion size. So very, very detailed. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes for your patients to complete, but it's fun. That is the feedback that the researchers had shared with us. It's also what our community is finding as their patients are going through this. It's just so refreshing compared to having somebody fill out a questionnaire about the foods that they've eaten. So important consideration, again, I want you to read through this very carefully. Does not replace the dietary recalls, but together you're going to get a really great overall assessment of their dietary intake. Okay, any questions so far? Oh, Sandra got it. Thank you, Sandra, for asking the question. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of our training module. This is where kind of VioScreen and Living Plate RX come together. I didn't put together, I actually took the recording from our last Q&A strategy call in office hour, and I posted it here because I did walk you through, I had a short slide deck, just taking you through the integration summary, and really making the case for not just our members, but for all practitioners to use this tool. Really, again, important. It will not only save you time and improve client satisfaction, but as you will see, tremendous marketing opportunities here, which I'm really excited about. So we take you through the video, through the integration, and then below, I break it down into how you can issue this assessment. And this is where our members came back to us and said, wouldn't it be great if, and of course, our team was like, you know what, you're right. It would be great if. And so we actually wrote some code to improve the integration. And that's what you're going to be seeing today. Hi, Noreen. Wonderful to see you here. All right, so to issue assessments, you have a variety of options. First, you can issue an assessment directly from your dashboard. Here is a picture, but I am going to take you into the dashboard now so that you can see it. When you go into your dashboard, very important, you are going to see a VioScreen recording. It's the same recording that is in What is VioScreen, which is under, at the top here, Who is VioCare? So you can watch it in your meal planning dashboard, or you can watch it here. We posted it in both places because it's important for you to be well informed. So to issue a client a VioScreen assessment, you can do it in the VioScreen tab. And you can also do it in the client tab. So let's go ahead and hop on over to our meal planner. Hi, Carmen. Hey, Julie. And we'll take a look. So let's go into the VioScreen tab first. I'm just going to click on that. It's a little slow because I have tabs open on StreamYard. So let's take a look here. You can issue right here using New, the VioScreen food assessment here. All you need is the patient's email, first name, and last name. And then you click Submit, and the patient receives an email. So you can do that. If you have, I was speaking to one of our clinical partners who works with an older population, who doesn't necessarily go into their emails regularly, or they struggle with emails and email deliverability, there is going to be another way. This is just one point of attack. So this is where you're going to add their email, first name, last name. You're going to send them their VioScreen access. Now, that email that goes out to them is, of course, branded for you. So it will say, welcome to your food assessment. You can start here. And they can click on it and it will immediately open up the window and it will start asking them questions with a series of pictures. Now, once they complete it, they will be sent to a thank you page, which I'll show you, that says, thank you. Your practitioner will be reaching out to you. They do not automatically get their score. That's important for you to know. You as a practitioner need to be in control of that. So if you are marketing it, and we'll be going through the marketing emails, you need to make it clear that they need to have a conversation with you to review the score. You just don't want to be issuing, dietary assessment scores like the HEI, because they won't have as much meaning, number one, and number two, it won't cultivate business for you. So you have this score. You can do at that point with it what you want. You can send them the report. You can send them an email if you just want it. If it's a current client and maybe they just had an appointment with you and they don't need to book a discovery call, then you can be free to send the report. Now, the reports are located here, and there are 4 reports, which I've already reviewed. So I'll just open up one of them for you here so that you can see. This is what the report looks like with the HEI score on top. And then you have the eating patterns for fruit, vegetables, and whole grains here, and then a breakdown of the nutrients. Now, as a practitioner, if you are looking at this report, you're going right to this middle block here. Wow. Their intake of fiber is about 13 grams per day. So it's no surprise that fruit, vegetables, and whole grains are in the red here. So we want to make sure. So the red really just assigns level of intake. It's not good food, bad food. It's just like, well, your intake of fruit, vegetables, and whole grains could be better. So that's something to work on. So this is all good news. This is not bad news, because all of these improvements can be made by working with you. So this is the summary report that most of us will be using with our patients, but there are other reports. There's a detailed nutrient report that gives an assessment of their caloric intake and some additional nutrients. There's a feedback report and a top foods report that, again, all of this information is covered here. Just come back here. Can you see this? Yeah. I think you can. Let me see here. Yes, great. Sorry, just want to make sure I was showing the right screen. All of the detail on the reports they're down here. So today is really going to be about reviewing the campaign. If you want information on each individual report, you can come down here. Okay. So that's how you can issue a report. You could also issue a report inside of the client tab. So let's say you have an existing client. You can issue another dietary assessment if they've completed one, and 30 days, not 30, about 90 days later is what they recommend. 3 months later, after working with you, you want to issue another assessment. You can do that here. So you can issue a new one, or you can repeat one, and then you can compare the reports. So 2 spots now that we've covered: the VioScreen tab for new clients, and then for existing clients, you can go into the clients tab. Any questions so far? Hi, Bobby. Hey, Kristen. Barbara is asking a question. Can you show us the email that the client receives when we sign them on from Living Plate? Yes, Barbara. That actually, you know what? I don't think that I posted that in the training for today, but Barbara will post that here inside of the module. Okay, I'll post that for you. That'll be part of the marketing plan. But Barbara, I think you're also going to really like what I have to show you right now, which is the landing page. Now, in order for this tool to be an effective lead generator, you have to think about what is the first point of contact with this person. So yes, you could do a campaign on social media or email and say, reach out to me or fill out this form. And then I, the practitioner, will send you the assessment like I just showed you. That's not the most efficient way to do it. Always the most efficient way to capture leads is through a form. And so we created one for you. Now, everybody has access to the form that you're seeing here inside of their VioScreen tab at the top here. So you just click on this link. You can copy this link. You can share this link in emails. You can share it on social media. If you have a private Facebook group for your community, you should absolutely post it there. You could post it in a partner's Facebook group. So let's say you work with a med spa or physician and they have a private group. You can post that and it will immediately start generating leads for your practice. But they're not just leads. You're getting incredible insight into the dietary patterns of everybody who completes this questionnaire. So very, very cool. Lots of questions. So Julie is saying, can we issue a VioScreen outside the Living Plate RX platform? Yes, Julie, 100%. So Julie is asking if she can issue this assessment through her EHR. Julie, all you need is this. All you need is this up here. So if you go to your VioScreen tab, you will see this landing page. And Julie, the way that I see this working in EHRs is that you will create a dietary assessment space, right? So, and every EHR calls it different, whether it's a protocol or a course or a module. You create a space inside of your EHR called dietary assessment or visual dietary assessment, or what's your score? You can create like a little mini campaign inside of your EHR. Inside of that EHR, you will have this link. And our recommendation is not to charge for this dietary assessment because it is a top of the funnel activity. And if it's for a current client, Julie, then it would be middle of the funnel activity and it should be included in packages. So it would be some type of a free program that you would issue to them. But every time somebody gets assigned that, as soon as they make an appointment with you or even before, they should complete this assessment. Many of our practitioners mandate, let me just come to hello for a second, because this is a really important point. Many practitioners, and it is recommended before you see a patient for the first time or a client for the first time, they should be completing this assessment. It gives you so much, valid information about their dietary pattern and a really great foundation for the conversation. So whether it's a discovery call for a new client or whether it's an existing client and we just want to check in with how they're doing or like grab this initial assessment, we're going to give you some emails for that, which we'll cover in a minute. It should be mandated that you do this. So Julie, if it's a new patient, that's the first module inside of your EHR that you should be delivering to them. Okay. I hope that makes sense. All right. Let's go back to our tool here. Oh, lots of questions. Okay. So here we go. Sandra, this is awesome. All capitals. Great. Sandra, I'm glad you think so. Okay. Does it give us a reminder in 3 months to send them another? Oh, Sharon is asking the question. So we're going to go through this whole process, Sharon, because yes, they get reminders, but they get them once a week. If they, at the end of 3 weeks, I think it stops with the reminders, but then you'll see that they haven't completed the assessment. So this link is specific to your practice. So the link that is inside of your dashboard is only for you. So you will issue that to either current patient or use it as a lead magnet, and your clients or your ideal clients and prospects will complete the form themselves. So first name, last name, email, and then they're going to take the assessment. They will go right into the assessment. So this will take them right into the assessment. They will complete it. If they don't complete it, Sharon, 1 week later, they will get an email reminder. Please complete your food assessment questionnaire. The following week, same thing. Those are automated emails, but you can certainly fill in with some other content if you'd like. But we're letting them know upfront, that it's going to take them about 20 or 30 minutes to complete. And then down here, we give them some just basic information. This just makes you look like a real pro and adds huge value to your practice. Just letting them know in basic language, consumer-facing language, that this is a tool that will give insights into 3 months of nutrition tracking without the hassle, right? Super easy and fun, actually fun to complete. And then what to expect after their assessment. So we do let them know as soon as they finish this, they get a thank you page that says your practitioner will be reaching out to you to review your score. So they're not going to get their score automatically. Okay. Question from Celine. Is there a way to link their VioScreen score to the meal plan if you issued the assessment before adding as a client? Is there a way? I'm going to read that again, Celine. Is there a way to link their score to the meal plan if you issued the assessment before adding them as a client. Yes. So, Celine, if you issue the assessment and then you create, and that's honestly, this is the way that it should happen. We should not be issuing meal plans before assessments, right? So, we should be having the client complete the assessment and then creating the meal planning account in here. I think this is what you're asking. And then once the client's account is created, Celine, the VioScreen will appear here if they have completed it. So it is retroactive. So it'll get there. Okay. Um, let's see. Barbara, is there the ability within Canva to customize the brand on the landing page? Great question, Barbara. And you don't have to do anything. It's already branded for you. It has Living Plate RX up here because that's my brand on this demo account. But Barbara, it's going to have your logo on it. All right. Now, your clients, you don't, just like the cooking videos and all of the other content that we provide to you, if a client asks you, oh, did you create this assessment tool? No, this is an assessment tool that has been used in research for years. I just now have access to it. So it's not really to indicate that you were the creator of this assessment, but the branding does support that this is adding value to your practice, Barbara. So Barbara, your brand will be on it automatically. Okay. So Daryl Roberts, first of all, Daryl, you never have to apologize for asking a question. All questions are good questions. So let's go. And I've got to click more. So this is going to be a good one from our very active member, Daryl. So appreciate you. So he has two questions. Do we need an additional subscription with the other company? No, it is included right now. And Daryl, this is a very good question. So VioScreen, if you are not a Living Plate RX member, you can sign up for a VioScreen account separately and use it somewhere else. The reason why we integrated it is because it just makes so much sense for the value that we deliver practitioners. Remember, when you're counseling somebody with nutrition, you need to go through ADIME, right? The nutrition care process, assess, diagnose, create an intervention, and then mediate and evaluate, right? The assessment piece of the nutrition care process has always been really clunky. And so I just thought to round out the value of services that we offer to you, Daryl, we would include it in Living Plate RX. So we've done this is total transparency. We have done 2 betas. We had adoption, but the adoption, meaning that the practitioners who were using it wasn't as high as I wanted it to be. But I believe it was, obviously it's not the tool, it was the integration and the experience. So now this is our third, where this is a much bigger beta and a much bigger release. Now we've really amped it up. So there's truly no reason why our community cannot just dive in and start using it. Daryl, if we see everybody using this, then it's going to continue to be included. If we don't get adoption and people aren't using it, then what we'll probably do is we'll allow you to purchase a discounted rate for VioScreen. But I actually don't expect that to happen. We're going full steam ahead with having this integration being included in Living Plate RX. So right now, just dive in. There's no charge, and you will continue to have access to everything. Number 2, would this be a good idea for non-dietitians to use so clients can figure out, so they can figure out what type of meal plan to issue? So as a healthcare professional, this is completely appropriate for really anybody to use. So super valuable to NDs, DOs, MDs, nurse practitioners, healthcare professionals to use this as part of the care plan for somebody who's been touched by a chronic disease. If you are a health coach, we've gotten this question before too. If you are a health coach, you can still use this questionnaire, but the way that it is used is very different. You are not using it to target a chronic disease. You're simply using it to help people improve their dietary patterns. So it is a win-win for everybody. So just be clear on your scope of practice and how you are using that. Daryl, did I answer your questions adequately? I hope I did. Julie is asking, will we have to build the email series? No, you will not. I'm going to take you there next. How about that? I'm going to show you all of that. Okay, Natasha is asking, this is so exciting. I've been playing around with this and I cannot wait to use it more. Fantastic. So glad. Okay, Barbara is saying she's asking about the branding of the page that if we wanted to dress it up more. Well, Barbara, if there's something on this landing page that you're not seeing that you want to add, I didn't add language about the NIH because your average consumer doesn't really know what the NIH is. But if that's value to our community, Barbara, call it out on our private Facebook group and see if people want to add it. We can change all of this. But right now you don't have the ability to change it. But that could be in the future. Okay, Daryl said I answered his questions. Awesome. Okay, so now you know how to issue the VioScreen assessment. So top of the nutrition care process, top of the funnel. For those of you who are just joining us, by the way, I'm Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian and founder of Living Plate RX, and we are demonstrating our new integration, the VioScreen dietary assessment tool. So super happy to have you here with us. For those of you who have been on any of my trainings, you know that I get super excited and really lit up about this idea that the nutrition care process, right? Assess, diagnose, intervention, mediate and evaluate how well nutrition, the I'm thinking behavior change theory, behavior change theory, and how all of this aligns. So you have a behavior change theory, right, where patients like are thinking about changing, but then they get motivated, right? This could motivate somebody into action, and then the action phase is when you start the nutrition care process. But how that whole clinical application aligns with the sales funnel, right? Top of the funnel, somebody's thinking about changing their behavior. Well, you could motivate them by saying, what's your score? Let's get your score and let's get you motivated to actually taking action. And then once they're in your funnel, then you can start nurturing them. So a lot of words to make a simple point. Sorry. Okay. So Julie, in the EHR, Julie, you will be able to copy the emails that we provide you for this campaign into your EHR. It just literally copy and paste, and I'll show you that now. So let's move on to that. Okay. So 3 ways you have all outlined here in your module, in your library, and then branded email communication. So this is where we're starting to get into it, Julie. So once the assessment is issued, there is going to be a branded email also being sent to your client. So they do have the opportunity to go through the assessment, but let's say they find your campaign and you on social media, they click on the link and they're just like, oh, I don't have time for this now. Well, they'll get an email. So don't worry. And then they'll continue to get reminder emails like you didn't finish your assessment, you didn't finish your assessment. And those are all branded for you. They're super simple. And it just has your brand at the top with some simple language like complete your assessment now. So that branded email communication is going out. You will also get status updates in your dashboard. So you'll be able to track progress. So you'll send the assessment. Did they start it? Did they complete it? So you'll be able to see if somebody even opened it up. So you'll be able to watch that activity, and you'll be able to ping them through your EHR. You can send them a text or send them an email saying, hey, hope that I know that you're going to find this valuable. Please click here to get started. But again, they're already going to be getting the reminders once a week. Hi, Tori. Welcome to the conversation. Okay. And then once they completed those reports are going back into your dashboard. Now we've gotten the question about how long it takes. It's conservatively, 2 to 4 hours. So it could come in sooner, but we like to say 2 to 4 hours. So they're going to complete the assessment. The data is going to be configured and it's going to be coming back into your meal planner here. Oh, where'd it go? Right here where it says reports down here. Okay, so your summary, nutrients, feedback, top foods. Those are the 4 reports we have right now. We are hopefully going to be adding the functional nutrition report, and then there's some other reports coming out too. But this is what we're starting with. Okay, once they complete their assessment, you get notified, you get an email, you get the notification in your meal planning dashboard, and they see this. Thank you for completing your food assessment questionnaire. Your practitioner will reach out shortly to schedule a time to review your results. So if people are expecting to see their score, this might be annoying. So don't promise that they're going to immediately get their score. Be very clear in your language that, yes, we're going to get you your score, but these reports take a little bit of time to get, and they need to be reviewed with your practitioner. My recommendation, if you're going to use this as a lead magnet, is to offer a free discovery call. I think that's going to be your best route. All right, so they see this landing page and then they're done. Now, I also outline here the key benefits for your practice. This image up here really does say it all for me. These reports are going to have a direct impact on the intervention that you build. Now, an intervention is made up of content, all the content that you have access to in Living Play RX, right? So, meal plans, yes, for sure, but ebooks, handouts, cooking videos, recipes, that's all of the content that you are going to be supporting people based on their report. So, for example, if somebody's report comes back that let me see here. I just want to make sure I'm on the right page. Yep. If somebody's report comes back that they're only consuming 13 grams of fiber per day and their dietary recall, if they're a current client, is consistent with that, then you know exactly what content you need to provide them. You need to provide them with what is fiber. Maybe they don't even know what it is. So some information on what is fiber, the different kinds of fiber, that's the nutrition education piece, and then move into the more actionable pieces like the meal plan, the recipes, the cooking videos. It is a direct line to content. So really taking a lot of the process where you'd be like, okay, what kind of intervention am I going to build? And really making it simple. So it helps you be really efficient. You can issue, monitor, and manage your assessments right from your dashboard as well. Client engagement. Clients love this. So it's just going to, again, it's going to make you shine as a practitioner. We have a lot of automations going out to them to remind them to complete this questionnaire so it can help keep them engaged. And then we're going to show you on the What's Your Score campaign some additional emails for engagement. Real-time tracking, you will see, did they open it? Did they start it? And did they finish it? And then your comprehensive reports are going to give you a lot of detail. So we'll help you build a not only super robust and dynamic intervention, but an evidence-based one. So how cool is this? I'm just so excited if you can't tell. All right, Beat is asking a question. How do you suggest offering the discovery call as a follow-up email, or can you automatically link it into your EHR to book? Oh, Beta, that's a great question. So that's a great segue. Let's dive into the What's Your Score campaign, and we'll review kind of how I see this unfolding. If they are an existing client, then it's going to have to be your call. You're not going to offer a free discovery call to an existing client. Also, if you are insurance based, you're not going to offer a free discovery at all because it won't cost them anything, and you can get paid as part of the assessment process for the nutrition care process, assessment phase for the nutrition care process. This is a paid activity. You are assessing somebody's dietary intake that will support you with creating a nutrition diagnosis. So if you are an insurance, if you accept insurance in your practice, you will charge them for that first meeting. So issue the assessment, say, come in or let's get on, Zoom or within your EHR, let's get on a call and we will review this and either potentially make changes to your current intervention, your current plan, or, create a new one. All right, Beta. So yes, you can invite them to a call on your EHR, but whether they pay or whether it's free really is dependent on, are they new and do you take insurance? So you'd have to consider that. I hope that answers your question. Well, in terms of inviting them to a discovery call, we're going to cover that in the technology. You'll see here I have the technology overview. So actually, you might not be able to see that. So let me just remove my face here so that you can see that. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the technology overview there. Add to stage. There we go. I want to go back here. Okay. Did that answer your question, Beta? So yes, they can take the call. And if you wanted to just have them book a call with you from in your EHR, you can include that in whatever that protocol or package is that you issue to them in the first place. So you issue them their food assessment questionnaire, and in that same protocol again, or module, whatever your EHR calls it, within that same experience, you can have a link to book a call. But they're not going to get the call until they complete the assessment. So you'll just have to watch that. Okay. Sharon is asking, does this make sense to offer as a package, the initial assessment plus a 30-minute review call? 100%. 100%. And again, it just makes you look like a real pro. Like, this is where we're going to start. This is your assessment. We're going to review it, and we're going to start mapping out a plan. That is a full 30-minute call, if not a 60-minute call, Sharon. So yes, I would include this in your packages 100%. So if you already have existing packages, just add it on the top. This should be the first thing that they do. Andy is asking a question. I just did the steps yesterday and issued it for myself. She said the visuals are incredible and got the email that my client, that me, filled out the assessment. So she said it's so amazing. Andy, thank you so much for that feedback. Now, that is a testimonial right there that I'm going to pluck with your permission and use to promote this integration, because that's a really great experience. And in fact, for those of you who have access to your digital meal planning dashboard and your Living Plate RX library, go ahead and issue yourself an assessment so that you can experience what it's like for your patients and clients. The key is to use a different email than you use to log into your dashboard. So just use your personal Gmail. That's what I recommend. Or you can issue it to your partner, your spouse, a friend, and see what the experience is. But overall, the feedback is overwhelmingly positive. Okay. Daryl is saying assessment with a 60-minute call is genius. I'm certain that I will be doing this. Yeah. I mean, you're going to be doing it anyway. When you have your first meeting with somebody, you can't move forward until you assess where they are, right? You can't change what you can't measure. You have to have some type of measurement. What's cool about this tool is that it gives you a number, which is awesome, and a lot of really, really great detail. So yes, you will be including this in the assessment process or that first visit. Okay. Okay, so Sandra's asking, she also tested it and was very friendly and easy to navigate. Great feedback. See, guys, great feedback from everybody. All right, let's move on. This is the fun part. It's all fun. Like the assessment itself is fun. It's great to do. But this is the marketing piece of it. Right? So we covered the nutrition care process piece of it and more of the clinical piece kind of up here earlier, because you really do need to get comfortable with this tool and kind of how it was developed and understanding the science behind it. But now, once you're comfortable with that, you can move on to start marketing it to your community. And here we are. So this is the What's Your Score campaign. You can call this campaign, and you should, whatever you want. Everything that I'm going to show you here is editable. As I preach every time I am doing having a conversation around our content, you must infuse your brand and your brand voice and messaging that speaks to your ideal customer avatar. So we support you a lot with the branding piece of it, but you need to have a conversation around this assessment and what's your score with your ideal customer avatar as it relates to their pain points. Right. So if you focus on fertility or you focus on cancer protection, like you need to change the content. So please make sure that you do that. I think it'll be effective as a general campaign, but it's always much more effective, and you'll close the deal on getting new clients if you really draw the line right to their deepest concerns. So this is a funnel driven campaign. It's designed to help you attract, engage, and retain your clients. We talk about attract, serve, and retain clients at every event because it is your sales funnel. Every business has a sales funnel. If your sales funnel is not functional, you're not going to have a successful business. So this will help you with really igniting your sales funnel. It's just one of those campaigns and tools that's really going to help you. The campaign is going to support all phases of your funnel. So really powerful attraction activity, but clearly really great tool to help support and nurture your current clients. And then also retention activity. Let's say you have a certain percentage of your client base that hasn't seen you in a while. What a great opportunity to reignite that relationship, to say, hey, we have access to this new tool. Take the assessment and let's talk about how we can work again together. Michelle is saying, showed up late, but this sounds amazing. Looking forward to rewatching. Oh, Michelle, always a pleasure to see you. Okay, so the key benefits of the campaign, right? So we already talked about key benefits of the VioScreen tool. Now we're going to talk about the campaign. Streamlined funnel management. So this, funnel is an experience, right? It is your client's experience from top of funnel, the first time they learn about you, to getting to know you, to eventually working with you. So this campaign just kind of hits all of those marks and efficiently guides potential clients. So make sure we're good here. Guides your clients from booking, nurturing, and ongoing engagement, and it really will help you convert leads into long-term clients, like really easily, because it draws the picture. Like it's it's hard to argue with a number. Like, this is not my, thoughts and feelings about your dietary intake. Like, this is a score. This is a validated score, and it can really help you draw the line to success for them. And it helps you also show them success in ways that they might not have seen before. What I love about this tool is that it helps us as practitioners get away from looking at measures that we probably shouldn't focus on so much, like weight, like blood pressure, like blood sugar. Like, those are important for a lot of people and a lot of patients, but as a nutrition practitioner, we have to be focused on intake. So while blood sugar measurement is important, what's important for us is to support them with consuming a diet that stabilizes blood sugar. You're following me, right? So really helps us focus on our zone, right? That is our scope of practice. Our job is not to lower somebody's blood pressure. Our job is to support them with following a diet that is lower in sodium, like the DASH diet, right? And to provide them with all of the support that they need to do that. This really streamlines your funnel management and helps you land those clients because you're able to map out that journey for them. And that's what you do on that first call, right? This is how it's going to look. Data-driven insight. So the HEI score provides a tangible personal insight for every client. So you get a concrete starting point. This is where you are. Again, with all of the other information that you have, this is where you are. I love it. This is where we need to go. 5-point improvement will be awesome. More, great. But at least you're knowing where they start. It supports you with getting improved client outcomes. So the campaign's focus is on dietary improvement and behavior change. Again, not that end result, right? So if ultimately the transformation that your client is looking for is weight loss, as a practitioner, you're never going to promise them, if you join my, practice, or if you join my program, you will definitely lose 10 pounds. You can't promise that because it's dependent on their behavior. So talking to them around the insights that this assessment gives them could be really powerful for them too. Like, look, we are going to change your behaviors that will help you get to that outcome, but let's focus on the behaviors. So just love that about this tool. Helps us focus on what we do best. All right. So you are going to position yourself as an expert by using this. Now I'm going to show you how you're going to do that. So we're going to start with a 2-week marketing campaign. It can be as long as you want. And you don't have to run this campaign. So Sharon, if you wanted this afternoon to start issuing assessments to current clients, just dive in here and start copying and pasting some of the emails that make sense for you. You don't have to do a campaign. The reason why I created this 2-week marketing plan is because we were asked to. Always, I was talking to my team this morning, we tend to give you all like a fire hose of resources. And then when you come up for air, you're like, well, can you just show me how to like do it? Like, give me the map. And like, isn't that so consistent with sometimes how our clients feel? Like, here's everything you need to do. Well, show me the path, right? And so that is what we're doing here. We have structured a 2-week marketing plan for you. So you can click that here and it will bring you is that it? This is a marketing plan. Okay. So when you click on that inside of your library, let's go back here. I'm sorry. When you click on open, it's going to ask you to make a copy of this campaign. So you'll have your own copy inside of your Google Drive. I don't know that I've offered this as a Word document, but I'll offer that as a Word document here too, as a download for you all, for those who don't have Google. For now, you will open it up in Google, make a copy, and here you go. So we give you some details on best practices for running the campaign. I do cover technology requirements here as well as inside of the module. We're going to cover that in a little bit, but basically, what are the bells and whistles? You have to move people along this experience. It can be manual. That's going to be mostly on you. What we try to do is automate as much as possible. So we'll talk about those tools in a minute. And then we've kept it simple, just some simple pre-written emails. I've given you one 4-page carousel right now, but we're going to create some more social media around this campaign for you to just kind of dive in and edit. And then the follow-up sequence. So there is a follow-up sequence for you that you can use, but also know that your clients will be getting a follow-up, an automated follow-up. All right. We're not going to go through this in detail. You can read through this at your leisure, but I want to give you kind of a high-level view of what this campaign could look like. First of all, people might not know you, or they may know you, but they definitely don't know about this tool. So you need to do some education and inspiration around this. So an email introducing this tool and why it's important for your current clients. The social media is going to be mostly around education and explaining the importance of the HEI score. I have already, here we go. I've already created this for you. There's a link inside of the library. You're going to edit this. So as with all of our social media posts, very basic. You need to come in here and edit it. You can use the language. We have the caption is all written here for you, but you need to significantly edit the visuals. Anything that is public facing must carry your brand and your brand essence. So we keep it really simple here, just with why should you take this assessment? How does it work? And then, of course, at the end, you drop a picture of yourself in. And here I'm using a DM automation, which is one of the pieces of technology that we strongly recommend. Comment, score below, and you'll get immediate access to your dietary assessment. The DM automation that I use here will automatically deliver this link to them on their phone or on their computer, wherever they're seeing me. If it's in a Facebook group or on a social media post, like on Instagram, they'll get this link and they can start the questionnaire. Okay. Any questions so far on the campaign? Because we're kind of moving quick here. So we've structured it as like every other day. So day one, we announce the campaign and we provide some social media around that. Day three, why do nutrition assessments matter? We give you some, we're going to give you some emails around this as well as some social media, but we suggest maybe you do a poll or a Q&A session so that you can answer questions about this. Day five, a client success story. Some of you have already started using the tool. Get feedback on the tool. If a client was like, oh, that was great. Tell me more. Tell me more about how was this experience great for you? What, or especially after they've reviewed the report, that's great. So it doesn't always have to be like the end result, like, oh, my score improved by 5 points. That's not always what the success story has to be. It can just be the experience as well. So that should be pretty easy for you to get very, very early on. If not, if you haven't started using it, issue it to a friend, a colleague, or somebody else that you know, and get a testimonial from them so that you can share that. Week number 2, or you can share your own experience too. Week number 2, you're going to give actionable tips and you're going to start focusing on, the converting the people, right? So like they're thinking about it, but now I really want to take the assessment because I want to know what my score is so that I know what changes to make, right? So actually talking to them about possible changes that they could make to improve their diet and get the outcome that they're looking for. So we're going to provide you with some social media around that. Day 10, reminder to act. If you are going to offer this dietary assessment for a limited time, then be honest about it. You're just going to have to see how it goes. If you start issuing this tool and you're like, let's say, I would think that partnering with a local practice is going to be the best way to get very quick adoption and use for this tool. So if you work with a local physician or somebody, in your state, if you're 100% virtual, if you're working with somebody, you should reach out to them and say, I have this amazing tool. In fact, Molly, if you're on with me, let's write an email about that too. Molly is our digital marketing coordinator. And she's going to help us with some content around this. But I think an email for a partner could be really important to say, look, I've got access to this amazing tool. Let's make it available to your patients. Here's the email. Here's my link. Go. And you can really start generating great leads. And you can also share the reports through the EHR with that referring physician. So you're seeing how kind of this works into every area of your practice and with really, really high value. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the call. For those of you just joining me, I'm Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian and founder of Living Plate RX, and we are going through our VioScreen What's Your Score marketing campaign and our integration. All right, so day 10, we'll provide you with some social media around that. All right, now we're on day 12, so re-engagement, last chance, day 14, final call. So use your judgment. If you want to say, for the next 2 weeks, I'm offering this free dietary assessment, then try it and see what happens. And if you don't get huge adoption, consider where you're posting that link, like what channels. You might get better adoption if you go through a partner to have people get their score, or through an employer that you work with. This would be great. like, look, if you do employee wellness programming or you have partners with like physicians, this data is gold because you're going to be able to say, your patients, your employees had an overall score improvement of X. That is a valid score coming from this tool. So that could be really, really powerful. The data, don't underestimate the value of that data. All right. So that is your 2-week marketing campaign, really spelling it out. You don't have to do everything, right? If you just wanted, excuse me, to do, 2 emails during the first week instead of 3 or 4, then that's fine too. But it's here for you. And it's just a matter of copying and pasting it. And Sharon, if you're going to do this inside of your EHR, just grab this messaging. It's the same as the email. Okay. Not this messaging here. I'm sorry, which is where I'm going to take you next. So these are the actual emails that are going to feed into your campaign. And that is found, let's see, where is that? Did I not publish it? Hold on. The emails are here somewhere. I know it. Hold on one second. Your customer experience. Oh, here it is. And your customer experience. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I will get that link in here. I didn't put it. So the emails will be here. I will plug them in. There'll be a link to the emails for the campaign, but I can show you now what they look like. So here we are with our emails, giving you an overview again of how these emails are meant to work. They're meant to engage, educate, motivate, and lead people to working with you. And here is the email sequence overview. And we're probably, based on feedback from our users, we're probably going to be adding more to this depending on what you tell us you need. So first, the invitation email. Sharon, again, you can copy and paste this and send it out as a message from within your EHR. It doesn't have to be an email. So that is an invitation email to take the assessment. Then the recruitment email is an invitation to book a discovery call after they complete the assessment. The post-assessment thank you page and email is automated, so you don't have to worry about that because that's all managed from within Living Plate RX. And then a reminder to book a discovery call. If somebody has not booked a discovery call with you, but they did, complete the assessment and you have their score, you just want to send a gentle nudge to say, schedule your consultation. Then their pre-consultation email, success stories and testimonials, a follow-up consultation email, and then a re-engagement email. And those are all, if you click here, I have to link it back. Sorry, I did it backwards. But I'll make the links active here so that you can just go right down to the email that you want to go to. So Sharon, if you wanted to send an invitation to your current clients, it's all here. All right. So I'm excited for you to participate either in the What's Your Score campaign or just I'm excited to have access to this new tool. And it's all here for you. Just make sure that you edit it and then you want to insert your custom link here. Celine is saying, my clients have said that the visuals and just the process of answering the questions was very eye-opening and made them think a lot about portion sizes. I love that. Many people are surprised that they aren't meeting the recommended intake for fiber, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Most are also surprised. I'm reading Celine's comment here because this is really important for you to hear. Most are also surprised at how much fat they're consuming. Great feedback so far, and already have a client who increased her fiber intake from 19 to 30 just by awareness alone. That just gave me goosebumps. Only a dietitian would get goosebumps from increased fiber intake. That's amazing. So it was easy for her because she loves foods that are high in fiber, but she just wasn't eating enough of them. So for Celine's patient, it really was just awareness, making her aware that her fiber intake was low and pointing her to those foods. The report actually points them to foods that are high in fiber and helps them create change. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Celine. Julie is saying, where are the emails located? Julie, I think I loaded them. I think I just forgot to publish them, but they're going to be in What's Your Score campaign. I'm going to include the email sequences here. So the social media templates are here, the technology overview, which we'll go through in a minute, and then the marketing campaign is here. But I will squeeze in the emails there the second we're done. So you will have access to them very, very shortly. Okay. Also, I did put this in the suggestion box at the front desk, but the HER score should include, I can't read this now. ETOH consumed too. Is this greatly okay? So that's interesting, Julaine. Julaine, the HEI score is that's a validated tool, so we can't just change it. But if you had that suggestion to include that, then we could, bounce that over to the VioScreen team or the VioCare team, and they'll be able to answer as to why it is not included, or maybe it should be included. But that is Julaine. Great. You're not going to be able to change this tool because it is validated over many, many, many years of research. So, but there might be another way to get the outcome that you're looking for, Jelaine. So let's work with you on that. I know we can't change it. That's VioScreen's responsibility. Yeah. So we can bounce it over to them. And I think that their RD, who's the clinical person on staff there, she'll probably be able to answer that for you, Jelaine. So we'll get that for you. Okay. All right. So 2-week marketing campaign. Let's move on to our technology overview. All right. So you'll get access to these emails, all of them. You'll get access to the marketing campaign, just kind of spells it out for you, all of the social posts as well. And now we'll move on to the technology. Now, the funnel is only going to work if there are responses to triggers. Now, the responses are either going to be automated or manual. So either you're going to do them or you're just going to let an automation take over. So let's talk about that a little bit. Now, the VioScreen assessment, that landing page inside of your meal planning dashboard, for those of you just joining me, that is located in VioScreen tab in your meal planning dashboard, and it's located at the top. So you just click on VioScreen, again, taking a little bit of time because I have so many tabs open in StreamYard, and it will appear at the top. Probably quicker for me to show you here. Okay. So right here, Michelle, I know you joined us later. So in the VioScreen tab, upper right-hand corner, you grab your link there. So you have that. So that is a trigger. Now, that person is inside of Living Plate RX and you are waiting for their reports to come back. So that's going to be more manual because that's more personal outreach, right? Because it's their personal score and you want to book a discovery call. So you're going to, usually it's going to be a scheduling tool, potentially through your EHR. Would be my guess, or through something like String Connect, which is what I use for our calls. Good segue, Hillary. Could you please drop in the link for the group discovery calls? Now, as a reminder, the call link that Hillary's dropping in now is for non-members. If you are a member, you already get access to us over here in our chats. You already get all the support you need here. This link is really for people to join discovery calls, group discovery calls with me so that I can take them through the integration and all of the resources that are available to them. Julie is saying, can this be used in any country? It sure can. I would say the only caveat there is that the foods might not be totally relevant. For example, they don't have zucchini. It's the same food, but they don't call it zucchini in Australia. So there might be subtle changes there, but Julie, this is visual. It's a visual assessment. So if zucchini were to pop up on their screen, it would be a picture of the food. So the name is a little bit less important. So yes, you can use it in any country. Hillary, thank you for the group discovery call. Again, that discovery call is not for members. So if you are thinking about joining us and getting access to everything that we're showing you today, just book a call there and we'll have a chat. Okay. So the branded opt-in page, that is done. Email automation tool. So we are giving you a lot of emails that you can plug into your email service provider. If you are using your EHR, that's going to be okay for existing clients, but for new, like prospective clients, that's not going to work. Your EHR is not a marketing tool. So you're going to need a customer relationship management tool, an email tool. I use, again, String Connect. Huge fan. I manage all of my emails and my appointments and all of my workflows there. But any email service provider will allow you to create an automation. Say, yes, this person booked a discovery call. Here's the trigger. They now get this automation. Social media platforms. So you're going to be sharing posts on social media like this one that we've shared with you. And you can see at the top here, it says comment, score below, and you'll get immediate access to your personal dietary assessment. That is huge value. People want to take immediate action. If I have to go to my email and if I have to wait, you're going to lose time. Now, if you don't have a DM automation tool that I talk about here, something like ManyChat, again, I use String Connect. String Connect has DM automation as part of it. You're going to have to use something like link in bio because you can't post a link inside of Instagram. However, if you have a private Facebook group, you can post a link there. So you do have opportunities to use that link in certain types of social media, or if you're reaching out to potential clients on LinkedIn. Let's say that you serve high performing women in business, and you want to offer this tool to them. You can insert that link there. So you don't always have to use DM automation, but particularly for Facebook, Facebook feed and Instagram feed, it's really, really helpful. The DM automation, if they comment, here we have the trigger being score. If they comment score, they're immediately delivered the link. They can click on that link and start the assessment right away. So really appealing. Daryl is saying, I'm a bit confused. I thought you said they do not get immediate access. They have to wait. No, they don't get access to the report, but they do get immediate access to the assessment, Daryl. So I'm sorry to confuse you like that. So they get it immediately. They get the assessment immediately. The score goes to you. Yes, not the results. Correct. Okay. Hi, Leela. Welcome. Yes. So the DM automation is going to immediately deliver that link to them, and they can complete the assessment, at their leisure. But they're also, remember, they're entering their email, first name, last name. So they're also going to be getting an email. So you're getting them on social media, and you're also getting into their inbox, which is hugely valuable. And then you'll need a scheduling tool. So again, DM automation tool, not totally necessary, but strongly recommended. And then a scheduling tool. You will need a scheduling tool. So you could use something like Calendly or Acuity if you don't have an EHR. And this will just make it easier for clients to book the calls with you. So when you send that email to say, hey, thank you for completing it. While we wait for your score, please book a call so that we can chat about your score. Like, no commitment, like just let's get on the call. But the report is going to so clearly indicate what they need to do that, and it will insert you as a professional to help them do that. So really, really help facilitate that call. Lorraine, I missed many of, oh, don't worry, Lorraine, there's a recording. She missed much of this, but how do we send them the assessment link right away without their email? We just talked about that, Lorraine. You're going to go into your meal planning dashboard here. I'm getting stuck here. So you're going to, let's see, it's here, the integration summary. So Lorraine, go into the VioScreen dietary assessment tool kind of learn area, the learning module, and it'll show you exactly where you go. It's at the top. It was just deployed in the middle of the night last night, Lorraine. So if you haven't been in your VioScreen tab, you haven't seen it yet, it's right here. It's right at the top of your VioScreen tab. That's the link. And that link, Lorraine, is personal to you and your practice, and it will take somebody to this page, which is branded for you. So your brand's going to be popped up here, and they'll go through the questionnaire there. All right, terrific. All right, any questions so far? Let's see here. The technology overview, social templates. Right now, I created this 4-page template for you, but we're going to get busy over the next few days creating some more for you. If you wanted to run this, you can start using this right away. You do not have to wait for all this other stuff. But if you wanted to start running the campaign next week, we'll have everything in here, those emails and the tools here for you as well. The social media tools. Okay. So your customer experience, I just want to take you through this, kind of the funnel. I want to take you through the funnel and the phases that your clients are going to be going through with this tool involved, right? So we have the branded opt-in page. So that's top of the funnel. If it's a current client, you can still use this, but you can also issue it from within the dashboard. We tell you how it works, which we've already covered. So if you're just joining us, just watch the recording. And that's your top of the funnel. So now that you have their email, first name, last name, and they're completing the assessment, boom, they're in your funnel. And they're like deep in your funnel because they're taking an action already, which is super cool. Oh, this is backwards. I'll have to fix that. So then you're going to nurture your prospects and build trust. We have paid acknowledgement. Thank you for completing your assessment. We're going to send them a score notification. Remember, and this is for you, Lorraine, if you are insurance based, that discovery call is paid. That is not free because that is considered an initial assessment. You are using this validated tool for the nutrition care process, and you are beginning the assessment phase, leading right to the diagnosis. We created a PES statement ebook that works really, really well with this tool, because with this tool, you're going to be able to identify multiple diagnoses, and you're just going to need to prioritize them, right? So it's either going to, for a person who had 13 grams of fiber per day, it's inadequate intake of fiber. All right, now I know what I need to do. So you get your assessment and diagnosis done in like 10 minutes. And then you talk to them about what the plan is. So that is going to be paid. And then, of course, step 3 is your follow-up sequence, right? So the link to access the Google Doc, oh, it's here. All right. You do have access to the emails right now. It's in the service phase, but I'm also going to post it inside of the What's Your Score campaign. So you can either download the email sequence or you can open it as a copy and you'll get access to this here. This is where all of your emails are. Okay. And then the retention phase. You're going to re-engage. I would do that as like a separate campaign. Don't try and do everything at once. If you have 1,000 clients in your database who in your EHR who you haven't seen in the past year or the past 2 years, and you're insurance-based, their insurance reset, number 1. But even if you're not insurance-based, this gives you the opportunity to re-engage them. We're giving you the email that you can send. You can either post it inside your EHR, like we had suggested to Sharon, or you can send them an email. It is a fantastic re-engagement strategy, and people will love hearing from you because you're offering them some value, right? It's not like, hey, book an appointment with me. I miss seeing you. Okay, well, what's in it for me? This is what's in it for them, a brand new tool that you have access to. That's really, really high value. All right. And then at the bottom here, we have all of our sample reports. So we have a summary report, which is a high level summary that includes the HEI score. We have the nutrients report. The nutrient report includes estimated caloric intake, which is something that a lot of our practitioners were asking for. So it's here. We've included it here. Now it also includes some additional nutrients like I think folate and magnesium, which aren't included in the summary report. Then the food feedback report. This is a report. I love this report. Can we open this report? Let's open this report and see, because it is just so fantastic. Okay. So here is your food feedback report. This food feedback report can be used in this assessment meeting. I wouldn't necessarily use this in the discovery call if it's a free discovery call, but if it's a paying client and it's the first time you're going over the HEI score with them, then this is fantastic because it supports them with nudges reflecting on what they've already told you that they ate. So it truly draws a line to say, okay, well, it looks like you eat apples, but your intake of fruit's a little low. So how about we increase that to 2 apples per week? Patient, is that something that you think that you can achieve? Yes, great. Let's add 2 apples to your meal plan. And oh, by the way, here's an apple pie overnight oats recipe and a coordinating video. Do you see how that's working? To have it direct exactly what your intervention is really takes a lot of the work out of it. Total vegetable intake, green salad, fresh tomatoes, potatoes. This patient, these are foods that they frequently eat. How can we improve, not only improve their healthy eating index score, but what's the impact of each one of these behavior nudges? What will that have on their score? So that might be important or not, depending on how quickly they want to improve their score. These are all relatively similar, but if you look down at whole grains, one has an impact of 1.6 and the other has an impact of 1. So I think we'll go for this one. You don't currently consume whole grain bread. Do you think you can consume 2 slices per week? Sure, great. Let's add them to your meal plan, and then we'll include a recipe for our lentil quinoa salad along with the video, right? So helping them get, up their intake of whole grains and also fiber. So I love this food feedback report. Really great. You can use it as a worksheet. You can print it, or if you're virtual, you can show it on the screen and just have them commit to 3 nudges is what's recommended at a time. You don't want to overwhelm them to say, make all of these changes. 3 is good to get started. And then you can move them. It will encourage them to come back to the next meeting, right? Oh, Jasmine, welcome. Kathy is saying the custom landing page is exciting. I knew you'd love that, Kathy. Julian, you stated the client does not get any report. Do they get the scorecard report? No, they don't get any reports. So they don't get the summary report. They don't get the food. They don't get anything unless you deliver it to them. Now, Julian, I'm not saying that you shouldn't share these reports with them. You certainly can. And if I were going to share a report with them before I met them, I would share this one. But again, you want to motivate them to come to the meeting. So sharing this report with them and then sending it along to them after the meeting, whether they work with you or not, would be really nice to have. Jelaine, if it is a current client, then you can absolutely send the report. I don't see any problem with that. You just download it from within your Living Plate RX dashboard. You just download it here. You can just download for the client and send it to them as a PDF. It looks just like this. So really, really, really easy. And then the top foods report. So the top foods report, let's go ahead and open that because that's also quite interesting. The top foods report gets to the plate. It gets to the nitty gritty and it provides a lot of really good education. So section 1 here is top foods with nutrients to limit. It shows that their total fat intake is high and it tells them why. Right. So you're consuming too much fat. Wow. And Celine, this could be great for your clients, right? Where they see, wow, my fat intake's really high. Why? Well, these are all the foods that you're consuming. So maybe you want to consider limiting intake of those foods. But let's take a look at some top foods on your report and what's contributing to your vitamin A, B12, vitamin C, D. And it shows everything listed here. It highlights the vegan sources in green, which is really nice. So the green is just indicating that it is a plant-based source of that nutrient. So choline, calcium, iron, magnesium, zinc, fiber, really valuable information here. And that report is included. So, this is not a report that I would just send to a client, Jelaine. This is a report that I would review with them. Any other questions? All right, so clearly I need to do a little cleanup here. So we have attention, serve, and retain. I'm going to fix that, get that in the right order. I'm going to add the link to your email sequences for you. Hillary, could you please add again the link for a discovery call? So if you are a Living Plate RX member, go right to your library. Everything that you need is there inside of that VioScreen module. If you are not a Living Plate RX member and anything that I said with you here resonates with you, then please book a discovery call. Hillary has dropped the link several times here. If you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, we'll go ahead and drop that link there as well so that you can book a call with me. Julian is asking a question here. So she's saying that she did receive the scorecard. You will not receive the scorecard unless the practitioner gives it to you. So you get access to it inside as a practitioner, you get access to it inside of your meal planning dashboard, but it's not emailed to you unless the practitioner emails it to you. We really, unless you all tell me something differently, we really want it to remain practitioner controlled. Julie is saying the ability to say, here's an overnight apple oats recipe and video comes from the intimate knowledge of the meal plan and library, correct? Correct. Like that is part of your intervention. So remember, Julie, you're using this report as a foundation for your assessment to guide the diagnosis, and then you're going to provide them with supportive materials. So yes, that was just an example of me as a practitioner speaking to a client saying, okay, well, if you would like to increase your intake of whole grains, here's how you can do it. So it shows them the how to, right? The report gives them the what. You're responsible for the how to, right? It's very hard to take action on what. It's much easier if they're supported with the how to. That's your value. That's what they're going to be paying you for. So how do you suggest the flow look like when somebody books a discovery call with me through my website after finding me through Google? Well, if they book a discovery call, then this is just adding more value. So instead of the assessment feeding into the discovery call, you can have the discovery call feed into the assessment. Thank you for booking a discovery call with me. So as part of your automation now, Julie, you'll say, thank you for booking the discovery call with me. Have a really exciting tool. I would love for you to complete this food assessment questionnaire before our meeting. It will help give us both insights for your dietary pattern and how we can work together. So just reverse engineer that, like just reverse it. Instead of the form leading the discovery call, just going to have the discovery call lead to the form. So you can totally do that. And I totally recommend that you do that. Daryl, I can see a scenario where it would be a benefit to me to have the option to have a client get it immediately and then schedule a paid call to go over results. Daryl, you can do that. It's not going to be automated, but certainly if you get a notification that somebody has completed their assessment, you can print that report and send it along to them. Just experiment and see, if I don't send the report, do more people book discovery calls than if I didn't send the report? So you can do like an A/B test if you want to. And you're saying if there's a way to turn on the option, that would be amazing. Noted, Daryl. Great idea. It would be great to say, I'd like, the summary report to be sent automatically. I think that's probably going to be a few months away because we need to really run this larger test of how the VioScreen tool is working for our community before we start building in any more functionalities, but can definitely be on the roadmap, Daryl. So we'll remember that. Jennifer saying, this past week, I announced to my friends on Facebook that I started my own private practice and to link them to my Facebook biz page. Is this a good way to get started by launching this? What is my score to draw people in? Oh, Jennifer, 100%. Yes, 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 yes. It's exactly what you want to do. So you can announce on your Facebook page that you've started a business page and say, hey, anybody who joins my business page, I'm going to send you this food frequency, not food frequency questionnaire, this food assessment questionnaire that's going to X. Like you want to let them know what the value is. So anybody who joins my private Facebook group, you're immediately going to get a what's your score email, and we'll, do a dietary assessment, and then you can book a discovery call with me. So 100%. Yeah, you should be using this tool to attract as many people into the top of your funnel as possible. And what I love, Jennifer, about your approach, what you've just done, is that you've leveraged an existing community, your friends, right? When I opened up my private practice, that was my first top of the funnel activity. I called all my friends to say, hey, I'm open if you know anybody. And of course, referrals came in, right? So you are leveraging your Facebook friends to start building this private Facebook group. And yes, I think once they're on the inside of that private Facebook group, you should offer this assessment. Andy, I noticed that on one of the reports, they used a lot of fortified foods to include. Also, it asks if you drink skim milk instead of whole milk. Andy, that is a great question. If you want to post that inside of our chat, on the chat widget, on the meal planner and or the library on your dashboard, please ask that question, because what we'll do with those questions is we're going to forward those to the clinical team at VioScreen, at BioCare, because they'll have the answer for that. Like, I think it's important to assess somebody's intake of fortified foods, especially if they're vegan. Because if they're vegan and they drink soy milk, the score is going to be different whether it's fortified or not. So it will be really interesting to hear what the BioCare team says about that. So Andy, please just copy what you posted here, post that in the chat widget, and Hillary will let the BioCare team know, and we'll get back to you. Okay. Any other questions? As you can tell, I'm just super excited about this. I'm really happy that you all joined me here today to review this tool, this integration, and to understand the value and impact that it can have on your practice. So clinically, huge implications. Marketing tool, huge implications. I just want it all to come together for you and be as effective as possible. Please, if you are not in our private Facebook group, please join us. Hillary, if you could drop the link to join our private Facebook group, because that's where a lot of the action happens. A lot of the conversation happens around new integrations in particular. So join our Facebook group, and you can join the conversation there. I'm going to ask Hillary one more time to drop in the book a discovery call. If you are a company, a digital health company, if you are a startup and you are looking for a meal planning solution and a nutrition resource solution, you can book a call with us as well, and we'll have a chat. That's great. Andy is saying you and your team are the best. Here, I'm going to read this. Okay, indulge me. You and your team are the best thing that happened to my practice. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, thanks, Andy. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Okay, thank you everybody so much for joining me. And if you are watching this as a recording and you have a question, tag me and in the comments, and we will get back to you. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.